Ken Laird, Guy Junker, Trib Live Radio. The Pittsburgh Pirates, Guy, are 16 games over 500. They've had their first overall pick from a couple of years ago, Garrett Cole, go 3-0 in his first 3 appearances. The second player in team history to do that. He's beaten Lincecum, Greinke, and Jared Weaver. And over the weekend,
the name of the first one?
I don't actually.
Merrill Brown, 1922.
Your colleague, you guys went to high school at Baldwin together, I think.
That's right.
Neil Huntington over the weekend, the Pirates GM, bracing the fan base that Garrett Cole could be sent back to AAA despite all that success when Wandy Rodriguez and A.J. Burnett are healthy. You've got to be kidding me. You might as well just fold the franchise now. You can't stand success. You certainly can't pay for it. They're afraid of going to arbitration in 2015. They are within striking distance of the Cardinals, and they're going to send 101-mile-an-hour Garrett Cole back to the minors. Defend this, please.
Why? Why are you getting me to defend it? I'm not going to defend it. I was not against the guy, or I was not for the guy coming up in spring training, even, and I think, as you said earlier, that bore out to be the correct decision. Now, I'm going to let this thing play itself out. I mean,
why? Neil Huntington's not. Why didn't he say it?
No, he didn't say it's going to happen. He says it's one of the things they would consider. He said that.
What a curmudgeon. Just say we don't want to talk about it now.
Well, calm down for a minute. The only 2 players that have minor league options are him and Jeff Locke. Are you going to send the guy down with the best earned run average in the National League and the second best earned run average in all of baseball?
No.
So if you
Charlie
don't
Morton's
send
going to the bullpen.
Charlie Morton goes to the bullpen. That's probably what I would do. Genmar Gomez goes to the bullpen, and Morton goes to the bullpen for now, and you keep everybody here and everybody happy, and one of the other guys go down. I want to see what happens in the next couple of starts. Burnett hasn't even thrown off a mound yet, so we could be quite a ways away before that happens. And by the time Burnett's healthy, someone else might come down with an injury. That's the way not only this season has gone, but most have. But no, I don't like it. And now I pointed out last week, 67 fastballs, 9 sliders, and a couple of off-speed pitches. He's still just relying on his fastball, which I think eventually he's going to have to do some things with some of his other pitches. Still, he's cranking them 101 miles an hour.
With tail, with sink.
Yeah, the most you're not going to catch up to that. 96 miles an hour, still a good fastball, but major leaguers can time that if that's all you're using. You add an extra 5 miles an hour to that. They're going to be accused absolutely of trying to save the Super 2 status for this guy if they send him down. Although, looking at the numbers, that really isn't going to come into play. It doesn't look like that's going to matter. So, oh my God, I'm looking at that Wallenda guy walking across the Grand Canyon.
Focus, would you focus?
My goodness. I'll turn that TV off. Every time I look at it, my heart's in my mouth. I don't know how anybody can do that.
How would his teammates react to this?
Well, I want to see. First of all, that's not as important. How would he react to it? I mean, I don't know what the other answer is. They got a lot of. What do you do with James McDonald? That may be a big. A year ago at this time, he was one of the best pitchers in baseball. It's in there somewhere. I mean, I know it's easy now. Things are going well. You say, yeah, you cut him loose.
Ray Shiro's working on a trade with he and Fleury, package deal. McDonald and Fleury.
Do you bring him up here and put him in the bullpen as well?
No,
I mean, they've got some big decisions to make. Frankly, if everybody gets healthy at the same time, I might be looking around to try to add a bat to this lineup.
Maybe you do. Go after a right fielder. It's not going to bring you Giancarlo Stanton, but
no.
Maybe.
But you got a plethora of pitching, and instead of you certainly don't want to just lose McDonald to waivers or
maybe another
guy
back
to waivers
end,
to keep a guy up here.
Maybe another back-end bullpen guy. If what Grilly showed you last night and the home run allowed to Jay Bruce and the Reds earlier in the week, you feel like there's a little crack in the veneer. Maybe it's James McDonald and, heck, Charlie Morton or Genmar Gomez to another team for a 7th or 8th inning guy, somebody who is a proven relief pitcher.
If there's a crack in the veneer,
down.
If there's a crack in the veneer, and I'm not totally convinced there is. I mean, Grilly got the out when the save situation presented himself. Maybe he's not comfortable pitching in a non-save situation. I'm talking tongue in cheek there, but I mean, the guy's perfect in his first 25 opportunities. I'm not going to get all bent out of shape because he's had a couple of rough outings. But if he does, I would think Melanson would be the next guy in order to try. Or if Grilly would ever get hurt or anything, I would think Melanson would be the next guy they'd go to as a closer.
Well, as you say, this is 2 weeks from playing out. We're heading toward the All-Star break, though, and this team is playing .640 baseball since their 1-5 start.
Oh, it's stunning, and I know what everyone's going to say and point to. And I don't. He floated that trial balloon out there. Man, I don't know if he did it to see what reaction would be. I think he knows what reaction would be.
He's like a World
show.
Wrestling Federation villain. He likes to poke the fan. Why does he have to play the heel? Neil, just keep it quiet. Even if this is actually what you're thinking.
Yeah, we got a lot of decisions to make. We got to wait and see who's healthy at what times before we make them. You could say the only two guys with options are Locke and Cole. I mean, you can sort of set that up without actually say that you're thinking about it, because now, even if they don't do it, they're going to be looked at negatively for having thought about it.
We're sending Guy Junker down to AAA. He's been too good for us here on Trib Live Radio. Next up, we'll have John Staggerwood coming in to co-host. I'm Ken Laird. Ken and Guy every weekday on Trib Live Radio, triblive.com, 10 a.m.